Alright guys, welcome to the second part of our book details program. Before we move to our main class, let's try to recap pretty fast before we continue. Alright, initially we created a class named book details and we declare all of the various kinds of data type. We have the primitive and the non-primitive data type. These are the primitive data type and here is the non-primitive data type. Right, after we done that, we have our constructor and we assign the parameter within the constructor, right? So this is the constructor. Here we have the constructor and all of the informations in the constructor are called parameters. You can see it here. So after that, we try to return all of the informations of the constructor. Okay, then next we try to create our getter and setter method. So here we have the getter and the setter. You can see. Okay, so this is the end of our getter and the setter method, and the next thing we did was to build our toString method. So you can see the toString method here. Alright, so these are the informations we return. These are the information that were declared, so we try to return them. And that was the end of this subclass. So let's move to our main class of this program. But before then, we show you some tactics that you can apply in generating all of these code by highlighting the various kinds of data type, and you come here to generate and you select constructor and you will generate. Just select the constructor and try to highlight all of the things you want to generate and it will be generated. The same thing applies for the getter and the setter and that of the toString method. Okay, alright, so now let's move here and we create our main class. We come here and we come here, let's say we give the name of our class, let's say main, and we click OK. Alright, so let's try to close this and we zoom this so you can see clear. Alright, so this is our main class. The first thing we want to do is to write our public static void main method. So we come here, we say public static void and this is the main method for our program. With this main method class, we can access our subclass, which is the book details, right? But before then, there are some things I said we will show you as we move along. You don't have to write all of these things from scratch. You can just come here and you say PSVM, which is the public static void main method, and you click OK. Automatically, you will have the public static void main method to be generated. Okay. Alright, so the first thing we want to do in our main class is to create our index, because we have so many informations about the book details, so we want to print it in our index form. So we come back to our main class and write the comment first. Say index array. Alright, here we go. So we will print it in our index array form. So in order to print it in our index array, we have to call the constructor. So here is the name of the constructor, book details. So we come back here and we say book details. Very good, it pop up, right? So we say index book details equal new index book details, and we put our curly braces and we click enter. Here we go. So this is how to call the constructor. So now we have called the constructor. If you come back to this class, you will see the constructor here. You see now we have called it is highlighted. So that will show you that you have called the correct name of the constructor. It is highlighted in or orange or yellow color now. Alright, we come back. So the next thing now we will do is to add information within the index for the various data type. So we will add information of our constructor, right? So we come here, we say new, and we say constructor name follow, and we give the various data type. So here, the compiler can help us. It will highlight all of the information. If you see here, it highlighted some information. So the first thing we are to enter is the book index number. So we put the index number, and we put our command. Good. So it moves next, which is the long, that is the total pages of the book. If you cannot see this clear, the next thing you want to do is to come here and you just copy this whole information about the constructor and you come back to this main class. You just try to write it as a comment. Let's come here and we try to write it as a comment. Alright, here we go. Very good. Don't worry, we will try to settle it fast. Okay, here we go. And we try to highlight it as a comment. So now it is a comment. Okay, so we will use this format to enter all of our informations. Here we go. Alright, so we have the index number, we have the total page. Let's say this book have 250 pages, and we put our command, and the next thing is the price of the book. Let's say 500. We put our command again. We come next line. The book word, let's say, is in the D word. We put our command. So you see, automatically the compiler is even helping us to select all of the data type we declare. So the discount, let's say, is 20% discount, and 20. So the visibility, which is the boolean, we say true. Is it the book visibility? Yes. So this should be true, right? Alright, so let's check it. Alright, I think it should be true. Let's try it again. Sometimes it's like that. Alright, it works. Okay. So the next thing is, what do we have on the list next? After the visibility, we have the name of the book. So let's say the book name is Java. And the next thing is the author name of the book. Let's say Bali Aloysius. So the next thing we have is publish. Yes. The published year, that is a string. 2015. That's when the book was published, and the type of the book is a PDF. PDF files. Yeah. Let's try to make it very in the best format we can understand. So I will try to draw it back. Alright, here we go. What do we have now? Is this. Okay, here we go. So is this format we will be using. We have added our first informations in our index array for the book details, right? So let's try to add more informations. In order to do that, all you need to do is to come here, you copy this, and you put your command, because there is a next information, and you paste your informations again. You also do the same thing. You try to draw it back. No. Alright, let's try to have considerations on this. Here we go. Sorry. Okay. So let's try to paste it again. We will paste this twice. So for the various informations of the books. Alright, so these are all of the informations in the index of the books. Let's try to get it straight. So we put our command here. Alright, here we go. So what we are to do now is to change these informations. The first one remain the same, and the second one we try to change it because we cannot repeat basically the same thing. So let's try to change the index number here, and the word this book is on is A, and the author name, let's say Erickson T. Alright, the year is 20, let's say 2020, and it's a hard copy. It's a hard copy. Is visible, yes, it's true, and is computer science. That is a computer science book. The next thing is we have Amber T, and she published this book 2018. Is let's say physics book, and the PDF, no, let's say hard copy, and what we have next is to change the index. The page is 250, the price is, let's say, 1000. Here we go. So the next thing we have is Julius Valier published this book. Yeah, they say Julius Valier, and the next thing is 2021, and it's a PDF copy. Let's say is computer, let's say IT informations technology. Alright, here we go. So these are just some assuming informations. So this is how to add informations in the index of the book. So the next thing now we want to do is to come next and try to print these informations up. So how do we print this information up? By writing our for loop. So let's come one step between this. Let's come one step here. We can even close this here. Alright, here we go. It's better that way, and we come down here. Next step. Okay, let me try to create some new line so we can have it clear for you. So we say for, and we say int, we initialize. Why do we have to do that? Why do we have this error? Oh, it's a syntax error, or sorry, it's an oversight. We shouldn't have it this way. Okay, I was thinking that this is still there, so I didn't recognize it. Actually, it should be here. Alright, so we say for, and we say int I equals 0, and we say I is less than what do we have here? The index array, right? So this is the index array. We call the index array. We say book details, you can see it, and we say dot length. Okay, and we put our semicolon. The next thing we want to do is to say I plus plus, and we put our curly braces. So we try to print out. So here I show you how to use PSVM for the publish static void main method. So if you want to print out, you can also say SOUT, and you click enter, right? Automatically you have it. So now we have it. What we want to say now is book index. So we say book details, and we say index I, right? Here we go. So everything is straight now. We're done with our program now. Alright, let's come back. Yes, let's come back this way. Alright, I think it should be better this way. I actually had an oversight, so I don't want to get it wrong again. Alright, thank you. So let's try to run it and see if we are right. Let's try to run it first. Okay, we have some information pop up here. Plug in I'm not too sure if it is pretty important, but we will see. Here we go. Alright, here we go. So we have our result now. This is the result. Let's try to check it. So the first thing we have here is the name of the book, Java, and this is the index number. We have the pages, the numbers of pages for the book. We have the price. We have the discount on the price. So we also have the visibility. This book is true, and we have that is when you see like the visibility, that means this book should exist. And we also have the year this book was published. We have the author name, and we have the type of book. So this is in a PDF form. The next one, we have the other book, which is the computer science book, and the index number, the price, everything, the visibility, the year, and the person name. We also have the tab, which is a hard copy of the book, and so forth. So this is how our program ends. Let's go into the code again so you can see. Let's go into the code. We will first start with this one. So this is the beginning of the code. Let's go over it. Sorry, let's close all of these things here so you can see it clear. Alright. If you also have some challenges and you want the code, you can also request for the code. Alright. So this is the end of this subclass, and we come to our main class here. So the main class begins from here. This is the main class. The main class is not much code. Yeah. And we try to print it here. We try to print the index array here so you can see. And that's the end of this tutorial. We can also make one of these both false, that it doesn't exist. Sorry. Yes, we can make it false. We can make another one false, that is, we are saying the book does not exist. And we also say some of the book exists. So we come to run it. Okay. All we need to do is to come back to our main class here. Debug and run. Okay, so here we go. There are so many primitive data types we use, so it's taking a little time with my compiler, but don't worry. Alright, here we go.